Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're on this 2019 Honda Passport and we're going to be putting a battery in it. So let's get started.
The battery I chose for this vehicle is a Mighty Max AGM, which is absorbed glass material battery. It is group 48 for a Honda. This battery I actually ordered offline from Home Depot, and the reason I did that is because one of the advances right at I think maybe 300, a little over 300. This was 150. So we're going to see if it turns out being a good battery. But the first thing we're going to do is this little guy I got right here. I'll drop a link in the description. This is a memory saver for a vehicle. All your new vehicles require a memory saver. It plugs into the OBD2 port to save all settings. And if you unhook some batteries on vehicles, say like Volkswagen, some Fords, but basically every make, you could end up basically bricking the vehicle, needing a security code to unlock it from the dealer. So to avoid doing that, I got this guy here, which plugs in USB into my boost box. So it just goes in the USB, goes out, and now let's go plug it under the dash. So up under the dash here, you'll see the OBD2 port for Honda is right here on the driver's side to this far corner. So you'll see she's up underneath there, and this will just simply plug in right like so. And you'll see it's connected. We got battery power, which means it's coming from the box. This right here means it's supplying the battery. So in that case, we're good to go to start this installation process. So the battery on this Honda Passport is tucked up nicely underneath this air intake. So what we got to do is you got this clip right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get the clip remover, pop it up just like that, which I'll go search for that here in a minute. Then we can come over here and just simply pull up all along it. You'll feel where it's being held down. You just go along the edges of the vehicle and simply pop this guy up and out of the way. That removes that out. The next piece we got to take out, you'll see because they put a battery in this before, it's missing that clip, but we'll get a Phillips head and back this guy out and pry it up. All right, got the Phillips. You'll see it just simply unscrews out, which I got some more clips out in the garage. I'll just have to go figure out what one I need for there, but you should be able to just pop up the intake like so. Alrighty, now with that out, this should just simply, you just work it, wiggle it, it pops right out. Mine says it's got a rock in it. I'll fight that in a minute. Now we can go down in here, just pull that up, and you'll see we got these here is what secures our terminal down. They look pretty clean, not too bad. So I'm gonna get a 10mm deep well so I can take these hold down supports off, and then I'll go ahead and take these terminals loose. All right, I want to show you, I took this nut off. So a lot of times when you do that, and this other one here, you might just have to loosen a little bit, but you can typically pull that side up, and then these are got these little J hooks down inside there. You can kind of see right there, but you can actually just tilt this up and out. There's that little J hook, and we can set it off to the side without having to take that other one all the way off. Now, so you don't lose this, just reach down in here, and you can tilt it forward, wait and turn it, and you can take it out. So that's your little J hooks there. Now our next point, we're going to go ahead and crack these terminals loose. You see, that one's loose. That one's loose, nothing to it. Now we'll take this positive one off, or negative one off, sorry. Boom, she's out. Go ahead and take this one loose, and she's out. All right, guys, with the battery loose, I'm gonna grab it here and just sit it back for a second to give me some room over here so you can see all the wires and everything that is held on to this like little battery cover. So the first one is this positive cable. You can simply just push it towards, or I'll get my pry bar here. You'll see it's inside that little clip holder right down in there. There, I got some light on it. You see that little clip holder right here? It's holding the cable. You can see I just took my tool, pushed it out of there. Nothing crazy. Then you see this guy right here is actually this little push clip. I can actually get in behind it here. Switch hands. Get behind it and work it out. See, it's on the, you see that clip there on the back side. It's got these little ears that push in. You see, you got that one side out right there. She's a little stiff. Go see if I can get on the back side of it here. Here we go. Now that's out. Now you got this connection that we just broke free. There's one piece that will come out with the battery, so you want to go ahead and you'll see it's got this push tab on the back. We can push it and she's free. So there's everything unhooked. Now we can grab his battery and lift her straight out. All right, with the battery out on the ground, you want to be careful because this thing's heavy. This little thing we actually unhooked is a blower motor that vents the battery, believe it or not. So what we have to do now is we actually have to split the case here. As you can see, it's got these little clips to get it to pull apart. Now, if it's been replaced before, like mine has, you'll see they've used double-sided tape to stick it together. Just like so. Now there's the battery. Now we can finally lift this battery out of the box. And there it is. You can see how nice and dirty it is. So I'm actually going to sweep this thing out, clean it out real good. But there's a little blower motor. But it just basically vents the gases, anything that might off-gas from this battery. Now the reason that this exists is because all vehicles with start-stop require a AGM battery, which is absorbed gas or absorbed glass material. And the reason for that is because they cycle that start-stop. Now, I always run an AGM battery just because of their duty cycle's a lot better. They're non-spillable. They don't have the liquid acid in them as your traditional batteries. They typically last longer, though this one didn't, but 3-year warranty is what it is on a lot of them. But it is what it is, so that's why you got to go back with an AGM if you have start-stop. I've got it disabled on this vehicle, but again, AGMs are just better batteries. Anyways, let's clean this up. All right, guys, I cleaned the battery box. You can see down in there. I should have took a picture before I put it back down in there, but whatever. Let's go ahead and take these caps off. Expose the terminals there. I did clean the inside of it. I'll show you that. Let's go ahead and slide that guy back down on, just like so. There she is, ready to go back on. I am going to go ahead and wipe the whole box down. I'll show you inside of here. There's pretty much, I'm going to wipe around the seal. That's the battery vent, but really nothing too special. So we'll lift the old heavy, wipe this down, and lift the old heavy girl back in here. All right, guys, got this bear back down in there. So the first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead, push this clip back in right there. You can push this guy back together there. Now let's go ahead and just, let's put this positive one on first. Wiggle it down on there, make sure it's good and seated down on there. Take the negative and seat it good down on there. Now we can go back in, clip our wire back in like so. Everything looks good there. Looks good there. Let's go ahead and take our 10 mil and tighten these down. Now I'll show you. Right there's hand tight. I'm gonna take it from hand tight a quarter of a turn. All right. So again, I'm just tightening down with little to no force till it stops with my hand on the ratchet. Then I'm gonna go a quarter of a turn more, and that is it. I'm not gonna send these things down on there because you can shake them and see they are not loose. So push that cap back on. Our next thing is, let's go ahead and grab our J hook here. Hook it down in there. You see the edge of it down there wiggling? I basically put it in sideways, turn, and feel around. Focus in there. She's hooked. We'll lay that there for a second. Grab this one. Do the same thing. Take it down in there. Hook it. Keep tension on it. And like that, she's back in. Now I'll hold that down, grab the nut, and run it down. Now I want to show you something here, because this is where the station that put this battery in when I bought the car done me dirty. So you see, they've torqued down this side way too tight. You'll see it's springing. You really do not need it to be like that. And this is why I always encourage people to, if you have the means, work on your own stuff so it can be done right, because a lot of these garages are there for doing it as fast as possible and not as good as possible. So you can see I loosened that up. There's not that big spring to it anymore. So now we can just tighten this back down. See, I can do it all by hand. Make sure it stays down in there, latched on. That's a big thing. Now, get that hand tight. Take this guy. Back on tight. It's got tension on it. I'm gonna go over here and do this one the same. And draw it down level. Now, you don't need to crank these hold downs. You'll see right there, battery's moving just a little bit, so crank it down a little bit more. Right there. And you don't have to freaking put it on there as tight as the people did before. There's no reason to put that much pressure on it. You're simply just keeping this battery from sliding back and forth. So there she is. All these terminals are put down. Now this guy here had a bolt cap clip that held the wire on that they didn't put on last time. So all that's in, that's clipped down. We are good to put the tube back on. All right, so we got this guy. It's got the coupling on the end. I like to put it tilted up so I can work it down over. Then see it slid right on. That way we can twist it right around and back into place. Now, hopefully you have your two clips where you can put it back together correctly, and you'll put that in, run that nut back down. But I've got to go find me 2 of these clips. All right, guys, I found some clips that'll work. They're a little bit different, but as you can tell, they work just fine. 2 of those are better than one or the other one. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah, I know this might not be a big deal, but if a garage is okay with losing one and just keeping one in and then like over torquing that hold down, it's hard to tell what else they would do. So that's why I try to always encourage and do these videos for everyone to get out and do it yourself. So now all that's together, let's grab this guy here. Now it's simply, you see all the clips lines right back up with how it came off. Just make sure your hood lever, pop lever, you get it up over the plastic. Let me get 2 hands on here, tilt it up. There you go. So it pretty much falls right back into place. Now you can start over here, make sure everything's lined up. You can hear it just popping right back into place. And then this little guy here, I found it. You didn't even have to remove it. It turns out it was just a little piece. All right, so everything is singed down there. Let's get my tools out of there. Let's get in the vehicle. Let's go ahead, turn that guy off and unplug it. It's done its purpose. And let's foot on the brake and start. All right, she cranks up just fine. Looks like, no, of course, hood open, that's fine. Everything's good. You'll see here, the system has lost power. Push and hold the power button for more than 2 seconds to enable the system. And we're back. Now, we should have not lost any of our stations or any of our presets or anything along that nature because of the battery saver. So, yep, we sure didn't. Everything is good.
All right, guys, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on Instagram at MustangJackson67. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. But until next time, let's keep building.